All right. So, hello everybody. Good afternoon. It's the internal education in the air. All right. So just to check whether you can hear me all right, can you type in your chat boxes something like hello, hi, pluses, smiles, whichever way to show that you're pleasant to start the webinar together with the internal education and Pearson Publishing House. So I see lots of hellos and pluses and highs with smiles. All right. It seems that we are really in the air, that everything is working smoothly, and that you're just ready to start the session together with me today. So my name is Gennady Bilaus, and I'm a methodologist for the internal education, which is in its turn the exclusive representative of the publishing house Pearson in Ukraine. So, and just we have so many hellos over there, I wonder where you all people come from. So again, in your chat boxes, type the city, town, village, place where you are currently based. So that's Ivano-Frankivsk, Новий Розділ, Ромни, Тернопіль, Кропивницький, Рівне, Чернігів, Львів, Самбір, Чуднів, Запоріжжя, Київ, Полтава, Бучач, Суми. Oh my goodness. So many people come from so many different places from all around Ukraine, and one thing that unites us today is education, right? And the will to improve and upgrade and do something better, well, in our lives and with our, well, places of work that you come from. Fantastic. All right, so thank you all for joining us here. And again, you know, lately we've been doing, well, quite a lot of webinars, and many of them you can find downloaded on our site. But again, I just think if there is at least one person left in Ukraine who is experiencing his or her first webinar together with us. So again, if you remember the number of webinars you have attended, type it in. If it's your first time, type that it's just the first time together with us. So second, all right, the sixth webinar, the first, all right. Oh my, so the newcomers. You know, this is one thing that we are always amazed about here in the internal education, that no matter, it seems that no matter how many webinars we are doing, there is always somebody new, there is always somebody who is seeking for some education and for some, well, information online, which is just wonderful. So again, many thanks to those who have been our true friends for many different events up to now, and welcome those who are here the first time with us. So, and again, I should repeat that it's just a wonderful feeling of being based in one city in Ukraine, in Kiev, but being able to communicate and to interact actually with so many people, with so many colleagues all around Ukraine. So thank you for that. All right, so the introductory part is over, and I think we better start. Let's not waste another second. So, as I have already mentioned, the internal education is the exclusive representative of the publishing house Pearson. And you know, time after time, well, Pearson shares some new titles with us and some brand new materials for you to work with your students appear on the Ukrainian market. And today, I'm just going to take you through one title like that. So today, we are to have a look at one of the brand new titles by Pearson. And the title is Go Getter. The title of today's webinar, actually, Go Getter, your best option when teaching teenagers. So let's just pop in what we've got for you today. So this is how the whole series of go-getters look like. There are 4 of them. And if we will think about who is go-getter for, what types of teachers might find it useful. Firsthand, these are the teachers who work within the private language school sector or PLSs, and we find this material very, very useful to them. And actually, we've got many teachers already who have been working for some time with go-getter, no matter that it just appeared about half a year ago in Ukraine. And another thing, we still believe that there are going to be some state school teachers who are going to fall in love with the resource, actually, together with the Ministry of Education GRIF. So it's got it, and you can be safe and sound there, working with go-getters back at schools and using it to improve your students' language skills. If we think about age, and this is one of the things I find very, very nice about go-getter, because it takes the students from this upper primary age level to lower secondary, which in numbers probably would be something like this, from 9 to 13 years of age. And if we talk about levels, as I have already mentioned, there are 4 of them. And again, a very nice, feature of go-getter that it takes the students all the way up from the pre-A1 level, which we very often call these false beginners, right? I'm sure that, well, at least some of you experience this feeling that students come to you being in Form 5, say, and they basically have very limited amount of language to in their command. So this is where go-getter could be really, really to your advantage and to the advantage of your students, and it would take them all the way up to this A2 plus level, which is actually the SEFRA level for the 9th year of education at schools. So quite good. Okay. So, you know, for me, very often it's about the name, right? You have a look at the resource, you read the name, and then you start thinking, well, what does this name mean? So, a go-getter is someone who, I've checked it actually in one of the dictionaries. So there it goes, go-getter. I'm going to give you 3 options to choose from of who a go-getter, what type of person a go-getter is. So 3 options, again, in your chat boxes. Type the letter as soon as you know the correct one. So a go-getter is someone who enjoys getting new emotions, someone who is energetic, determined, and works hard to be successful. And C, goes and gets things for other people. So again, in your chat boxes. All right, well, what could I think of really? All the correct answers there. I had no, doubt that you're all going to pick up the correct one. So actually, this is truly the characteristics of the course. So the Go-Getter series was designed, well, in mind for the students who are energetic, determined, and who'd like to be successful in their studies. Okay, there it goes. So what do go-getter students get from the course? Again, in your chat boxes, be ready. So together with the course, go-getter students get motivation. Yaroslav was the first one. Really good typing skills, Yaroslav. Well done. Everybody else is catching up. Good. Well, not only motivation, but also together with go-getter, there is some innovation. Oh, who was the first one? Kravchenko. No, it seems to be Clara. All right, Clara, well done. So innovation. this is something that Go-Getter offers to modern students, to modern teenagers. And one more thing, the motivation and the innovation all together lead to, oh my God, so many correct and very quick answers over there, results. Good. So these are the three, let's say, main features of the course. And just in a moment, we are going to have a better look at what these features stand for. And we're going to start with motivation, with the first one. And, you know, I'm sure that there are lots of teachers on the other side who has got either lots of experience or lots of different ideas of how to motivate your students back in your, well, teaching environments. So in your chat boxes, can you type, please, what materials or methods do you personally use to motivate your students, well, in the education process? Again, something, So Tatiana Tkach is writing something that relates them to real life. Perfect. Oh, that was the name of the resource. Okay, good. Which is just fantastic because this is the resource published by Pearson. Apart from that project, money. Oleg uses money to motivate. Oh my, Oleg. I'd like to meet you and ask for the details. Good. Situations from real life, projects, praise. This is very important, I agree. Different role plays, and different prizes and praise and stickers and different online platforms. Good. Lots of different ideas. I'm sure you all try and motivate because, well, you wouldn't be here probably if you weren't if you were those types of teachers who wouldn't like to motivate the students. Good. Well, together with Go-Getter, it's actually filled with video, with BBC content. And you know, well, with my students, it works just nice to set the context, to give them some thoughts and stuff. So together with the BBC content comes really quality video, right? And there are three different video types together with Go-Getter. There is a drama series with the teenagers in all the different life situations. Would it be at home with their parents or with their friends or at school? Well, all the different situations. Very often they're quite funny as well. Another type of the video is grammar animation, and well, it basically speaks for itself. So the cartoons are on grammar together with a very funny little hamster Hammy. And the third video type is BBC Get Culture, which lets students experience all the different heritage, all the different world heritage and sites and places, and basically gives the idea of the world around them. Today, obviously, within our webinar, we are not going to concentrate on all three. However, I'm going to share one video with you. We're going to watch it together, and that would be the drama series. So this is where it comes from, actually, this drama series episode. It's located on one of the grammar pages, and obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to play the video to you just without any task. There is going to be a slight one. Since this video comes from the grammar page, it has some grammar presented by means of the video. So the question to you while watching is what grammar structure is being presented by means of the video. Okay, so are you ready to do some video watching? So watch it carefully and answer the question.
It was Lucas's birthday last Saturday. His friend's plan was to take him to the cinema and then for a pizza.
Where's Lucas? The film starts in 5 minutes.
Perhaps he's ill. He wasn't very well at school yesterday.
He was okay this morning. He isn't answering his phone. Come on, let's go in.
I'm sorry, the video signal was lost somewhere. Sorry, there are some difficulties. There are some problems with the video there.
After the film,
Okay, I'll try to open it one more time. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
it was
Let's
Lucas's
try
birthday.
it.
After the film,
That
Okay.
was awesome.
The actors were amazing. It's a shame about Lucas.
All right, so I'm very, very sorry. There are some difficulties there. I don't know the reason actually, but well, anyway, I see some of the very correct answers over there. Good, so it's really the verb to be in past, affirmative and negative. The video is developing using all these grammar structures, but sorry, you are not able to watch it at the moment. So it's about this, maybe I could switch on the ending. All right, so I'm just tell you in a small detail which comes at the very end of the video. So the guys are approaching the restaurant and they're just looking inside, and one of the characters there is saying, "Oh no," and the video stops there. So basically that's what's happening there. Shame we can't watch it at the moment. However, there it goes. So it's to be in past, affirmative, negative, and there is text on the page. So not only students are able to watch the video, they can read at the same time. If just listening to the story is quite challenging for them, so they've got the script on the page. And obviously it comes together with some tasks, right? The students are doing either before, while, or after watching the video. So let's have a look at what's there. So these are the first and the second tasks. The first task says, look at the photos. Where are the children? What can you do there? So can you type in your chat boxes, what is the purpose of a task like that? Even before students well, start watching the video. What is the purpose? Okay, Yaroslav is there, warm up, some comprehension, okay? So Yaroslav, you're very much true, so to say, correct. However, we not only can call it a warm-up, but a lead-in. Somebody is writing general information. It's not in a yet developing, well, oh yes, speaking skills, true, exactly. And one of the other reasons, yes, together with warming them up, leading them into the topic, it's done by means of students trying to predict the content of the video that they are going just to watch in a second, which is a very logical way of how to set either a listening task or a reading task or a video task here. Obviously after that, well, grammar appears in context, and this is one of the main functions of the video in general and of this page, is to set the context for students when and under what circumstances they can use this or that grammar structure. So this is very, very important in terms of them starting learning this or that actually, if if you don't have this video equipment back in your classrooms, you can always do that as the listening activity, because it's available again both in video and just in listening formats. After that, so that was a pre-watching and the while watching stages, while listening stages. After that, there is some post-listening stage or post-video stage with some vocab work and with the phrases that are very often used in spoken language, right? That was awesome. Never mind, it's a shame. So the student, the authors of the course draw students' attention to these phrases and let them practice them. And actually, there is one more task at the very bottom of the page, which is called by Pearson, by the authors of the book, a cliffhanger. And basically, if I showed you a picture of a cliffhanger, it could be somebody like that, risking their lives. But the main idea of a cliffhanger here is to build some tension, is to build some intrigue, because the video actually, the very ending of the video, which I have told you about, is not the very final bit of it, because there is the continuation of this video, the ending of the story. And the students here are given a couple of possible alternatives of how the video is going to end. So I'm not sure actually that we are going to be able to watch the video, again, because of some problems there with the connection. However, these are the three options that the students have. So after watching this whole bit, they are asked, okay, what way do you think the video is going to end? What is going to happen in the second part of the video? So the character is looking into the restaurant, and he says, oh no. So what do you think? Is he going to see his sister in the pizzeria, or the pizzeria might be closed, or there are some teachers of his in the pizzeria? So again, in the real classroom with all the video there, the students would probably make this or that prediction, and we're not going to watch it. I'm not going to experiment this time. Let's not waste it. But the ending is very often than not unpredictable, and however, I see that it seems like many of you have already watched it, because really in the video there is almost not a single sign of the possibility of teachers being in the pizzeria, but it appears to be that, yes, option C is the correct one. So this cliffhanger idea is always a good thing, to keep students practically on edge, right? And to let them develop their prediction skills and speaking skills, and make the process generally more interactive in the classroom by thinking and predicting and discussing it together, either in pairs or in groups and stuff like that. So the three options are there for the students, and they predict, watch, and decide if they were correct or not. So if we have a look generally at this page, we probably might say that the main function of it is for the grammar to be presented. Just at this stage, working with all these predictions and interactive tasks and vocab and whatever, students haven't been asked a single time on any grammar yet, because this is just to set the context, to let them get acquainted and to let them passively understand, recognize, maybe use some grammar structures. So this is a very nice approach that they have in Go Get 'Em. And only the second page, which actually is also grammar. So in Go Getter, there are 2 spreads like that, 4 pages of grammar in total for students to have it in context, to practice it, to interact, and to use it in all the different types of activities. So lots of different means to practice and to learn grammar structures. And with video, it becomes really motivating and engaging, and students love that. All right. So these are the 3 types of videos. Actually, if you're at this stage that you think, okay, so what are the other types of videos? What do they look like? I'd like to have a look at them. I'm just sharing a link with you. You can take pictures with your cameras if you've got them there, or you can just write somewhere quickly, pearson.com/English and, well, Go Getter. And, well, behind this link, there are some samples of other types of videos, and you can go there and have a look at them and see what they are like. Good. Now we're approaching the second feature of Go Getter, which is it being innovative. And again, the question to you, ladies and gentlemen, in your chat boxes, what innovative teaching techniques do you, again, personally use in your classrooms with your students? Can you please share with us? So again, some of you are mentioning, Ludmila is mentioning different online test platforms, which are just fine. And the flipped classroom approach, very sophisticated. Well done, Ala. Oh, that's Ala Nasir. Nice to see you. Okay, and different eye tools, good. And again, e-labs, so that would probably stand for different QR codes. Okay, and again, English labs, good. So all the different innovative techniques there, and actually some of you, well, by e-labs, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe you have meant my English labs, which is one thing that I am actually heading to. So the innovation with Go Getter comes in the workbook, and all the students, if they work with this set of students book and workbook, they automatically and well, get the access code to the online platform, which is called My English Lab. And this platform is something that, you know, just these days, just these hours, lots and lots of teachers are falling in love with, because when teachers learn all the advantages and all the benefits the platform has for the students, they just, well, don't give it another thought, but try it out in their reality. So a couple of just, well, features of what My English Lab platform is. So, well, as I have already mentioned, the ordinary set, so to say, that most of the students are working with these days is the student's book together with the workbook, all paper-based, right? And here Pearson's give teachers and students the opportunity of trying out something different, of trying it out together with the online platform My English Lab, where all the students get access to all the videos and to some extra practice materials with Go Getter. And what it basically has, so it's got 56 video-based extra online practice activities, and then 44 separate video extracts that go together with the audio resources. And then there are 12 online tests, which, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you just set as a teacher. Students do the tests online, and all the results come to you in a blink of an eye. Not only the results you get, but the system analyzes the results for you. So basically, all the action, all the activities and tasks that are done by students together with the platform My English Lab are checked and analyzed for you. All you have to do is just have a look at them, have a look at the analysis, and tailor your next classroom according to the results your students have shown, which is fantastic. Taking into consideration that all the, let's say, difficult job and time-consuming job is done by the system. And not only this, actually, for the teachers, the platform comes together with the 36 photocopyable resources to enhance and to make the classroom more extensive, make the learning process more extensive for students if you have time and if you think it's useful and your students are going to benefit from that. For those, so we have just, well, I have just taken you through of how this system works with some extra material online, but the teachers who are looking, you know, for your hands to be, well, 100% untied with checking homework, you can go for the full version of My English Lab, which means that students are going to work just with the paper version of the student's book and all the extra practice materials, all the video together with all the content of the workbook online, which means basically no more homework check for you. The system does everything, it analyzes, and everything you need to do is just take this analysis into consideration when planning your next lesson. So for me, basically it means that if my students have done well doing their homework, right, and if they practically had no mistakes or difficulties, means that I save lots of time the next lesson for pair work, for project work, for group work, for some interaction to happen with for some productive activities for my students. All right. And so let's just quickly go through some of the benefits that actually I have already mentioned. Maybe some of them I haven't yet. So the benefits for teachers are instant and detailed results of your students' work back at home. Because again, this platform is designed for the students to work at home. So if you think that, well, no, I haven't got any internet connection in my classroom, you don't need to have one, but your students need to have one at home, obviously. Another one is, as I have already said, this is a time saver for planning and preparation for the next lessons. And well, the parents are satisfied. How come? Is, well, you can always show the statistics for the parents, and you can say, well, actually, you see how much time your kids spend doing homework, almost nothing, or how many times they have tried to do this or that task, and then the parents would, you know, would have no doubt that you're doing your work quite well back in your classrooms, and maybe their kids are not working well so hard well at home. And the benefits for students are obviously there as well. So this is their natural environment in terms of, well, they are all online today, right? Whether they're at home, whether they're somewhere in transport. Well, sometimes it even happens during classes, right? When you just turn away and they're there, well, online checking their messages or something. So they use the technology. That's why we teachers need to, you know, keep up with them and well, follow the latest trends and use the technology to our students' own advantage. Again, they have instant results. No longer would you personally hear the question, have you checked our homework yet? So because as well, like yourself, they are going to get their answers in a blink of an eye, just the moment they click the submit button. And then improved results. This is what I like most about the system, because you as a teacher can set the homework. Well, you can choose the number of attempts for your students. So for instance, you could choose your students to try the activity twice or 3 times, which automatically prolongs the amount of time students spend at home doing English, learning English, and they can go back to the exercises they failed, and they can improve their results, which is fantastic. You know, when I hear my students come into the classroom and I tell them, oh, and for instance, I gave them 2 attempts, right, doing the activity, and I say, well, actually, the first time you did an activity, there was this mistake, and they say, oh, yes, 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 we know, we have corrected, we have self-checked, we have self-improved it. And this is just fantastic for a teacher. So lots of different benefits, which make the life generally and the education process a lot more innovative for you and for your students. And yes, as you might have already seen here, that many of the benefits here end with the world result, because this is what the Go-Getter series and the online platform My English Lab are all about. They are about results. And this is the final and the most important feature of the course for my students as well, and I believe for all you back there on the other side, because I hope that I have showed you at least a bit at how actually the platform lets your students improve their language skills and their results back at homes and learning English generally. There is one other thing that goes every single lesson in Go-Getter, which is fun sports activities, which are not only about fun, they are about production. These activities go last in the lesson, and they are about activating students' knowledge, activating the target language that they have learned, this by means of productive activities like that, you can see the results that have been achieved just during this 45 or just during this 1 hour and a half lesson. Many activities in Go-Getter go together with this tag exam sport, which means that when your students are working with the series, they get prepared for different exams on the way. Would it be our local tests like DEPA or Zeno? Would these be international tests? And actually, every single level of Go-Getter is linked to one or another international PT certificate, PT Pearson Test of English level, examination level. And you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Your students get their knowledge improved, and they have a chance later to take the international qualifications, for instance, PTE. And one other thing that I have always found really rewarding in my teaching practice is my students doing all the various types of projects, because this is where the students literally come up with quite a substantial outcome, right? Like with a product of their own, because in many projects in Go-Getter, the students are asked to come up with a digital presentation or a video presentation or a video interview, which just themselves sound very, very progressive. Hope you would agree, and something that students get really, really fast interested in, and which again is some kind of a very substantial outcome result that students show by the end of working with the unit, say. So all these things are aimed at our students achieving better results working with Go-Getter. So these are the three, one of the three main features, I would say, because if you dig deeper, you always find something amusing about Go-Getter. However, we don't have all the time in the world together with you. So today we have focused our attention on these three and have seen how they work for the benefit of your students and of you actually as a teacher. So this is the whole series, 4 levels. You remember it takes the students all the way up from being these false beginners to being strong elementary A2 plus students. Just again, I'd like to remind you of the webinar series, of the webinar autumn series that is in progress. Together with this webinar, my colleague Olena Michadoui is doing a series of webinars on the primary school sector, and there is the 3rd webinar in a row to come from her, which is about formative assessment in primary school, and it's just about to happen on the 8th of October at 4 and on the 10th at 5. So if primary school sector is the environment that is very close to your heart and to your reality, teaching back at the places you come from, then make sure you register for this series, for the webinar for primary school as well, because so far so good. Olena has done 2 fantastic webinars on primary school. The certificates, yes, just to remind myself of them. So all of you are going to get a certificate of observation. So approximately in a week time, let's say, yes, so it is Tuesday today, so I think no later than next Tuesday you're all going to receive a thank you letter, and so please check your email. You can download the certificate from there. Actually, it's got the interactive line there, so you either type in your name there, or you print it out and you write your name well with your own very hand there. So 2 possible alternatives there for you. Well, basically that's it from me for today. I'm going to stay here for 1-2 more minutes. If you've got any questions, I'd love to answer them, and my moderator here within the Internal Education, I think, well, yeah, I actually I was watching a bit there, and I saw that Mariana did her job very well, answering all the questions and the queries there. And yeah, so I thank you very much all for participation, for not being indifferent, for caring and sharing for your students. That's fantastic. That's what I find wonderful about the job of a teacher. So thank you all again. Yeah, you too, have a good day. Thank you all, guys. Thank you, everybody. Okay, you two have a good evening. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave you for, again, 1 or 2 minutes together with the moderator, and if 1 or 2 questions emerge, she's going to cope with that, I think. So thank you all. Have a good day and see you some other time. Cheers.